Welcome to Author Timeline Thursday. I've got a great quote from Jack Canfield today. He said, "Deadlines are a test of character, of commitment, and of creativity." I wholeheartedly agree. Deadlines are a beautiful thing, or they can be, if you approach them with the right attitude. If you approach them with the wrong attitude, well, they're going to be ogres hiding under bridges trying to grab you or something. I don't know. Hi there, my name is Christopher D'Armani. I empower aspiring Christian nonfiction writers to share their story, their trauma to triumph story, using a personalized roadmap for writing success so they can make the impact that they know they were born to make in this world. And deadlines are one of the essential tools of any writer who wants to write and publish a book and make a massive impact in the world. They really can't be done any other way. So decide today to embrace deadlines as faithful allies on your journey down publication highway instead of some ugly ogre hiding under a bridge waiting to attack you. Because they can be either one. But that's the beauty of the human mind. We get to choose. I can decide whether a deadline is a good thing or a bad thing. Good and bad being, terms I'm not that thrilled with. But that's how we tend to frame things. It's either one thing or it's another. We tend to break things down that way. So in the context of deadlines as an essential assistant or a deadly enemy, I'll take essential assistant in every single day. And I would highly encourage you to do the same, because in my own life, I know that deadlines have been and embracing them with a positive mindset has been so essential to my writing success. And the simplest deadline to set, can't even follow my own notes today. The simplest deadline to set and keep is your daily writing session. And setting up your daily writing session is really, really simple. And yet so few writers actually do this. I'm appalled, honestly, because this is the stuff that makes your finished and published book inevitable. Inevitable. And I'm always a fan of doing anything that makes my success, whether in writing or in something else, whether it makes that success inevitable. And so I would highly encourage you to, let me put some slides on the screen so you can follow along. Maybe I'll try that. But set your deadline or your writing session up on because it just makes life so much simpler. And it's so easy. So number one, schedule your daily writing session on your calendar. That'll take you maybe 10 seconds, maybe 20, I don't know, but it's certainly within the realms of possibility to be done very quickly. The challenge might be, well, I can't find the time to write. Well, nobody finds the time to write. Nobody finds the time to do anything, because we don't find time to do stuff. We make the time for things that are important. So make that mental shift. Make writing important. And then set an appointment on your calendar every single day, ideally at the same time just for consistency. But your life may not be in a place where you can do that. It may need to be different times on different days. That doesn't matter. That you set this appointment and keep it every single day, that's the thing that matters. So once it's set, then show up for the appointment, whatever time it might be. Set an alarm on your calendar, on your watch, on your whatever, to make sure that you show up at that appointed hour and do the thing you said you would do. Write. And write for the entire time, whether you feel like it or not. Your feelings about it don't matter. Your published book couldn't care less if you don't feel like writing today. The person who is going to buy your book, and have their life transformed by your book, through your book, they don't care you didn't feel like writing it today. All they care about is they finally have the answer they've been looking for their entire life. That's all they care about. So if it helps, think of this as a sacred duty to that person who you haven't met yet, whose survival guide you're writing. As I already said, with this simple process, I don't need to go anywhere. It's all right there on the screen already. Schedule your writing sessions, show up, and write. When you do that, when you follow this super simple, exceedingly simple process, your published book is inevitable. Inevitable. But this daily decision is also a test of your integrity, of your, as Canfield says, of your character, of your willingness, of your commitment. But as an integrity issue, I really want you to take this seriously, because how you show up here for yourself is a reflection of how you show up for other people in your life. If you're showing up for yourself half-heartedly and only occasionally, odds are you're showing up for other people, the people you care about most, the same way. So let this be a wake-up call, if you will. Because once you miss one deadline, if you say, you know, I'm really tired today. I was up too late last night. I'm just exhausted, and I just don't feel like it. I'm just going to blow off my writing session for today. That may not seem like a big deal. And in the grand scheme of life, it probably isn't. But what it is you knocking over the first domino in a chain of events that will destroy your life. It certainly will destroy your book. Because once you miss that first deadline, well, yeah, I know I didn't write yesterday. Don't feel like writing today either, but I'll do triple the work on Saturday because you know what? I don't have anything planned. I'll do it all on Saturday. That's just lying to yourself. That's all that is. Flat out lying to yourself, because you won't. But now that you've built this mini habit of blowing off your writing sessions, it just becomes easier and easier and easier to blow off your writing sessions. And then when you do that, guess what? Your book is stranded on someday I'll write my book. No, not with that attitude, you won't. This is your daily deadline, your daily writing session. It truly is a test of character, a test of your integrity. Because commitments to ourselves are the absolute easiest to blow off, even though they should be the hardest. They should be the ones we value the most. We don't. I don't know. I've never understood why in my own life why that's true, and yet I work really hard to make sure it's not, because it does take daily effort. Do not underline, do not allow yourself to go down this path, because it only leads to Someday Island. Your book will never be written. Your book will never be published. The person who's out there waiting for the survival manual they've been counting on you to write, I know they don't know that yet, but they will when you write and finish your book. They will scream, oh my goodness, this is finally the book I've been looking for. This is finally the stuff that I guess I've heard this before, but I've never heard it this way. And this way just hits me right in the heart. That's what's going to happen. But you can't do it from Someday Island. You got to do it from somewhere else. You got to do it from outside of your own personal comfort zone. Because inside, your dream of writing a book simply dies. So embrace every deadline with excitement and enthusiasm. No matter how small, no matter how seemingly insignificant it might be. Embrace it with enthusiasm, with excitement, with gusto. Embrace every single one of those deadlines for what it truly is, an essential stepping stone to your success. When you look at a deadline that way, wow, why would I ever blow one of those off? That's insane. And Colossians 3:23 emphasizes the importance of this as well. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, working as for the Lord, not for human masters. Work at this with all of your heart, with all of your might, with all of your skill, with all of your commitment, with all your determination, with everything you've got. And the rewards on the other side of it are well beyond anything you can imagine today. The rewards I've received from writing and publishing my very first book, let alone the 50 I've gone on to write since then, massive. And I couldn't imagine a single one of them on the other side of that before that publish button got hit. Had no idea. And I also want to just say one other thing about deadlines. This is something I didn't do for 15 years. I refused to do this for 15 years. It was one of a series of things that I refused to do for a really long time. And as a result of refusing to do the things that are essential stepping stones to my own success, I never completed a single first draft, let alone a complete book. It's embarrassing. I'm rather horrified that I'd wasted that much time, but it was a journey that apparently I needed to take, which is just sad. And that's why I do what I do here. I don't want you to be me. I want you to skip that 15 years and go straight to being successful. That's just way more fun, quite honestly. It really, really is. Your writing deadline is a form of spiritual service. Think of it that way. Because you are accountable to God for what you do and for what you don't do in this life. And He has put this book on your heart to write for a reason, for a purpose, for His purpose. Your finished and published book will be someone else's survival guide. I can't stress that enough. And I also can't stress enough that I hate that. I would love for you to embrace this notion with everything you have, that this is a sacred responsibility to write and publish this book. Not only will it change this other person's life, and for that alone, it is so well worth it, but it will transform your life in ways, as I said, you cannot possibly imagine sitting on this side of that accomplishment. Can't even imagine. So with that, I truly do hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I would also love, if you have a moment, to go to writingcoach.pro/Christopher and follow me on my social media platforms, connect with me on LinkedIn, and there's a couple other tidbits of information there that I think will be very helpful to your writing journey, to your journey down publication highway. Until tomorrow at 3 o'clock.